Today guys, we are going to be putting in an egress window. That is a window for a basement so people can escape if there's a fire. And mainly me. So my father, he actually has a construction company, and you can see here in the planters, I'm going to remove this planter. That's my tomato planter that I planted there. And I wanted to put a egress window because down there is my basement. I found these egress plastic things on Craigslist for free, and you can see here this is the basement, and we're like measuring the wall, and we're gonna put the window there. Now this is the majority of the work. This is the expensive part of the work, is actually getting an excavator to come in and like dig for you. This would take probably days to do it by hand. The fill dirt has been added with the machine. I've been trying to level this out because it's a little bit difficult for mowing. I think it looks nice to have a little bit of a retaining wall here. So this is where all the dirt is going, and probably a little bit more dirt. I'm probably going to add a few more blocks to this. In the front I have a gas line, and the little gas gauge or whatever gas people do, there's a little hole here. I made it with some blocks so they can like shut off the gas if they need to. So I hope that actually works well, because I was a little bit worried about obstructing the gas line or whatever. But I think that's a good compromise of fixing it. I'll leave a hole in the front yard, but I'll cover up with some flagstone or something. Building this block wall base, it was actually fairly easy. It took only a few hours with some glue and blocks. It seems to work pretty well, and then we're gonna fill it with dirt, put some screening, black screen in the back so dirt doesn't flow through. Now we're starting the process of demolition and using a pneumatic hammer to chisel out all the concrete, and it comes off fairly easy because as soon as you get the top part, the bottom part really comes out easily with just like a sledgehammer, like hitting it. But it is a very difficult process. I was actually pretty tired, and I didn't do most of the work here. Like my father did most of the work. But you can see some of these blocks were coming out by themselves with a few chisels. And now you can see the exposed insulation. Basically, putting up this whole process only took 2 days. Digging the hole was like the hardest, and then digging or making the base of bricks, cleaning everything out, and then the next day was the inside. And well, there's actually a third day where you finish all the stuff by putting trimming and things like that on the inside and outside. What I'm going to do is actually remove these today and add another set of blocks to bring it up slightly. This wall to reveal the window, and we kind of came into a problem because we got this a little bit too close to this wall, so we might have to demolish this closet thing, which is not really a closet. It's where I keep the sump pump. So this might have to come down, but it's no big deal. I'll be able to fix it. So let's get started doing the cutting of the wall. And you can see here, it was very easy to cut the wall. And I just used my reciprocating saw to like cut the drywall, and it came off really easy. And then I used a saw to cut the studs, and that was that. The basement actually needs quite a bit of work. I did the drywall myself and stuff like that, but I should have done the electrical, and I did not know how to do the electrical at the time, so When my father saw the electrical, he fixed the one outlet near the window because there was a lot of rust and it was kind of wet from, like, you know, it being a basement, things like that. But it needs all new wiring, and the whole house is pretty old and needs wiring. So you can see here the stud at the base. This was at the floor. It was rotten and pretty wet and moldy because it was the one near the base, and that was actually a fairly new stud. So the next step is to basically cut all the trim, seal it up with foam and cement on the outside so no water gets in. But if you are interested in doing a project like this, you can contact my father. He's pretty good and he does it pretty well. He's got all the machines. It also takes about 2 days using the right machines and right experience. I think if I was to do this all by myself, using YouTube as knowledge and things like that, it might take me like weeks to a month, and a professional will come in and do it in 2 days. So it's probably worth paying $1,500 to $2,000 for this process, because it is a pretty involved process. It's simple, but it's very hard labor.